Hello there and welcome to Friday Night Football Podcast. Today we're going to be having something a little bit different. Blair Murphy, who's been doing, all the editing, deserves a wee bit of a rise. So today he's actually going to be hosting it. Enjoy, Liam. Take it away.
Hello there and welcome to the BSR Sports Podcast from the fans for the fans. Today I'm joined by Blair McNally. How you doing, Blair?
I'm all good. All good. Good to be sitting in the guest chair for one.
And Paddy's used to sitting in that chair, but how you doing, Paddy?
I'm doing good, mate. I'm doing good.
All right, gents, I think we'll just get straight into it. Just think of the football this week then. We'll get into the biggest game I thought of the week. Messi versus Ronaldo, Barca versus Juventus. Two goats at it once again. Blair, what was your thoughts?
Oh, it was a mad one, wasn't it? I think that was the biggest build-up I've seen to a game all season. It was what I've called it as the last dance. I shared it on Twitter, called it the last dance with a question mark. Personally, for me, did you see when they both shook hands at the start of the game? That was emotional. Yeah. It was crazy
that was
emotional.
A picture, that, wasn't it?
It was, and Pjanic ruined it, to be honest, coming over and getting a handshake off Ronaldo. Nobody cares about Pjanic, but it's the fact that both of them were able to share a pitch at club level again. Maybe they will share a pitch at international level. I think this World Cup's going to be the last World Cup for both of them, maybe. But the fact that we were able to see that final image, and it was at the Camp Nou as well, Ronaldo's stomping ground for years. It was remarkable, to be honest with you. And I didn't care about the scoreline. I really just didn't. I just wanted to see them two on the pitch together, sharing it for possibly one last time. But all in all, yeah, it was a terrific experience to watch. I'm just sad fans weren't there to see it, if I'm honest with you.
Yeah, definitely. For me personally, I thought you need to savour these kind of games because, like you said, they're not getting any younger, and this could be the last time we could see them play against each other. You never know; it might happen at the next World Cup, but you need to savour these moments in football, especially because you'll never see two players like this in a long time in football. You can talk about your generational talents like in Mbappe and Haaland and all that, but they're not going to come anywhere near the records of Messi or Ronaldo. Paddy, did you get a chance to watch the game as well?
I watched the game and I was very impressed. I'm a big Ronaldo fan, and I personally think he's better than Messi, but I love Messi as well, and the both of them are terrific footballers. I think it just shows that Juventus, I think they're a real threat in the Champions League and look a team to mess with. You've obviously got Bayern and you've got the other finalists from last year, PSG, but I think Juventus could be right up there with Ronaldo on form at the age he is. Brilliant.
Yeah, definitely, especially with the player Ronaldo is. He can definitely carry Juventus all the way. He can carry any team to any competition, and you can see
exactly.
He's done it with the national team as well. I don't mean to cause any controversy, gents, but we're going to have the conversation now. Messi versus Ronaldo. Who do you all prefer? I'll start with you, Paddy.
I've said I'm a Ronaldo fan. I think he's one of the best athletes in sport in the world, and I just think he's the better all-round footballer. And you see his scoring record and the fitness he has and level of fitness and just his goal scoring record. He's still this age and he's still scoring game in, game out. You know what I mean?
Definitely. What about you, Blair?
Paddy, I can agree with you on the fact that Ronaldo's got 7% body fat. He's a remarkable athlete, to be honest with you, and don't think you can take it away from Ronaldo. The two goals the other night, and maybe the controversy from the game. I think, as you said, Liam will probably get into the game later, but I think the two goals kind of took away the fact that Messi. I don't know. I hate comparing both of them because I think, as most people have said in Twitter this week, it's time we stop comparing them and it's time we just embrace them as two footballers, because they are two of the greatest players we've ever seen. If you're going to have to put me into debate, Liam, and I had to make a decision, 595 goals in the space of a year. No, space of a year. What am I talking
Space
about?
of a year.
It was 100. How much was it? It was 100 goals in the space of 100 goals in the space of a year. You can't take that away from Messi. Ronaldo can score wonder goals. He can score this and that. Messi's just done. He's next level athlete when it comes to how fast his feet are. The footwork he's got on him is just remarkable. Ronaldo's an athlete. Ronaldo's got a totally different style of play, which fires into it when it comes to the biggest games. Fair enough, Ronaldo does turn up in the biggest games, yes. When most needed, yes, and that could come into a factor. So I don't like comparing, but overall, over both careers, personally, I would say Messi, just because of the impact he had from, say, 2009 to about 2012-13. I think that's the greatest span of football we've ever seen from an individual player. You can talk about Ronaldo's Champions League achievements. You can talk about Ronaldo's league achievements carrying. We've seen it, the flop of Real Madrid, so you can see how much he carried Real Madrid when he was actually at the team. But then again, you could talk about how Messi's actually failed to carry Barcelona, or he has carried Barcelona. There's lots of debates in it. Personally, I feel Messi's just too much of a scoring machine to be outdone, whereas Ronaldo sometimes does tend to be lazy and he doesn't turn up. A couple of things I have said have contradicted myself. If you've watched Ronaldo and Messi over the years, you will understand what I mean. Ronaldo does tend to turn up in the bigger games, but when he's needed most in the smaller games, you don't see Ronaldo, whereas Messi's he performs throughout, and yeah.
Yep, definitely. If I was to give my opinion, from a very young age, I used to watch Barcelona a lot before the Messi time as well. I was a really young, I think it must have been like 3 or 4. I started watching Barcelona from the days of the likes of Ronaldinho. And obviously, I don't know much. I didn't, obviously, you're 4 years old, you don't know much about football. And once I saw Messi, maybe like 2009, 2010, obviously you have to be in your bed early, so you can't watch like the Champions League nights and all that. And then when my dad would always tell me that Barcelona would win, I would be like, did Messi score? Did Messi score? It was like, I just used to appreciate, even from such a young age, I just knew that I wanted that him as a player. You just have to appreciate both players. I think pundits have said over the time, just enjoy them while they're still playing. They're going to be go down as the 2 greatest footballers of all time, in my opinion. And you can talk about the debates all days. People say Ronaldo's the greatest player on this planet, but that's because Messi isn't from this planet, in my opinion. The way Messi can just control a ball, the way Messi can dribble a ball, he doesn't dive, he stays on his feet, he can strike a free kick with absolute ease. He makes everything just look easy. The perfect example, we mentioned Maradona recently, and obviously rest in peace, but his legacy lives on in Messi, and people always compare those two as well. The legacy of Messi will continue. It's going to be hard to continue that legacy because Messi, the numbers speak for themselves. Obviously, both players have high numbers. Ronaldo probably has more goals, but maybe because he's been playing for longer. One thing Ronaldo does have over Messi, obviously Ronaldo he's a better athlete. Ronaldo could probably play till you wouldn't be surprised if Ronaldo was still playing up front for one of the bigger Italian teams, or even like any team in the world, because at like the age of 40, because he just looks like he could play forever. Messi looks like he's just down in tools at Barcelona right now. But like Messi, I just feel like I grew up watching Messi, and I'm going to be the deciding vote here. I'm going to go with Messi as well. But you can argue all day about it.
2v1.
Yeah. We're going to leave you guys to put this in the comments below. Who would you rather in your team in their prime, Messi or Ronaldo? Speaking of Messi and Ronaldo, we'll get into the game itself. Juventus versus Barcelona. Looked like a pretty easy one for Juventus. What was your thoughts on the game, Blair?
Off to a good start for both teams. I thought it was a pretty competitive game at the start. And then the referee took judge of things. I think from the off, it was very obvious. Personally, Real Madrid were in the referee's favour. I think there was very... Not Real Madrid, Jesus, man.
This is why I'm the host.
See, because of Ronaldo, I just keep saying Real Madrid, and it shows you the impact he's actually had on Real Madrid. If I'm saying Ronaldo and I just think instantly of Real Madrid, it honestly just shows you. But I feel Juventus did have a lot of bias from the ref from the start, and it's horrible to see in football nowadays. It really is. But I think Celtic fans were able to see it the last time they played Juventus as well. Paddy, you'll probably know as well. You remember the refs. We've seen Scotland get a lot of the ref for the Scotland-Italy game get a lot of criticism. The Italian Football Association seem to have a tie-in with FIFA, and it is horrible to see. But there was a lot of decisions, a lot of stupid decisions being made by the referee on the night, and it started to frustrate me, if anything. The penalty decisions, they were debatable, but I think anybody with common sense would have made the right decisions, and on the night, the ref didn't make the right decisions. On a personal level, I feel Messi had the better performance, even though the score sheet says differently. I felt Messi managed to get Barcelona back into the game, even though they did get basically mugged over. I think very positive performance from Barcelona, despite the scoreline. There was a lot they shown in the game that they haven't shown in recent months. They haven't shown a fight. They haven't shown that attitude, that we can win this attitude against smaller clubs in La Liga. They've been struggling in La Liga. I think they're on the bottom half of the table right now, which is horrible for a club the size of Barcelona. So to go into a game against Juventus and put up the performance they did, despite the scoreline, which was negative, I feel via the referee, I'd say very good for Barcelona. On Juventus' behalf, I feel good performance. They don't need to be done, and yeah, with the help of the ref, they did manage to obviously get top of the group, didn't they? And
Yep.
a 3-0 win in the new camp, I don't think you can complain about that. You definitely can't complain about that. Ronaldo, despite getting the penalties, he could have still missed them. Stepped up to the plate. Ronaldo never misses a penalty, does he, Paddy? So you're right about one thing. Never ever misses a penalty. So that's why I did call him Penaldo earlier on.
Absolutely. Paddy, did you get a chance to watch the game as well?
I watched the game, and as I say, I think Juventus are real powerhouses, aren't they? And they look unreal this year. I think they've got a great squad. They've got a great group of players, a mixture of both older players and youngsters. Like you saw, Buffon was spectacular. The age he is as well. He's in his 40s now, and he just didn't let Messi score, did he? Never let Messi past him. Ronaldo, it was his game, I think, and as you say, Blair, back at his stomping ground, back at Nou Camp, where he does it best, and God knows how many goals he scored there. Fair enough, the referee's decisions, like I wouldn't have gave Ronaldo that penalty. Like it looked as though he just ran into who was it, Longley, I think, but Ronaldo puts away his penalty. I thought the American boy, Weston McKennie, I thought he had a great game, and he's a great talent. And Juventus 3-0 away to Nou Camp, you can't complain, and it's a great result. And I think they could be up there with favourites to win the Champions League.
Yeah, I'll agree with you. But you mentioned, Blair, that the result didn't cover Barcelona in glory, but you said the performance wasn't the best. I would actually tend to disagree with you. I feel like this kind of result's been on the cards for Barcelona for a good chunk of the season, because they obviously knew Ronald Koeman was going to be a short-term option, and obviously he's doing terrible, and he's not even bringing the best out of Messi. I mean, what manager can't bring the best out of Messi? I'm not saying Messi had a poor game against Juventus. I actually thought he probably should have had a penalty as well in the game. And it's an interesting one with Juventus, with the likes of Ronaldo. They've even brought Morata back, and he's looking to bang in all the goals as well. They're definitely going to be a threat in the next stage, and anyone wouldn't want to get them in the round of 16. For Barcelona's sake, I think any team would be fearless playing against them, because the defence they've got, the lack of confidence they've got, I wouldn't mind Liverpool getting Barcelona, because if they play like they did against majority of the teams they played this season, they'll get smashed. That's just my personal opinion. I think it's going to be a long season for Barcelona, and I'm going to sound controversial here, but I feel like they might struggle to get top four in La Liga, because they're just lacking all over the pitch. Messi looks like he can't be bothered anymore. It's going to be a long haul for Barcelona this season. I'll be surprised as well if Ronald Koeman sees out the season.
It's a hard one for Messi, because we all know the struggle that he's in. He came out on that goal, the interview, and he said, "I don't want to be here, but the president's made me." He said the plan was in place. I was supposed to leave my contract, and he's been obliged to well, they say the contract was still in place. It's obviously, they know that Barca are crumbling without Messi. They will have nothing. But you can see Messi on the park. He actually surprised me with his work ethic, because at the start of the game he wasn't putting in the work, and it was the Messi we've seen all season. But I think after he seen Ronaldo scoring the penalty, he was like, right, I need to get my goal. And he did go at it, and he kept at them. I think he hit one by the post. I think Buffon, as you said, made a wonderful save. We all know how good Buffon is, even at the right page it is. But to be able to pick yourself up like that, it just shows you still got the quality there. I seen the quality of Messi in that game. I don't know about yous, but I seen the old Messi in that game, and he was running at players. Maybe he wasn't at his best, that we have seen, but I know that if he does go to the likes of PSG, Man City, that have been rumoured in recent weeks, I know that we will see the old Messi.
Right. I think we should have a break from having orgasms over Messi and Ronaldo. So we'll get on to the other games of the week. We'll start off today with the Man United game. But happily for me, they've been knocked out of Europe. I got the prediction spot on. Thought I should just say that. I think I'll start off here with this game. This was the game I was watching. I had the Juventus game on as well. I was watching this game and I was just thinking, this is typical Man U. When they're poor defence, they can't get a ball clear. They can't create anything. Harry Maguire, that's another talking point. Just Maguire, and it all fell apart from minute one. And I'm not surprised that United have dropped down. They bottled their chance because they won their first two games quite convincingly as well. And it's the same old story with Man United. We can argue about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, but I get your guys' thoughts on the game as well. Blair, what did you think?
Same old man, innit? Harry Maguire, what can I say? It's just point after point after point. And I actually said the night we were watching Shane Duffy and Harry Maguire, they're just too
Shane
big.
Duffy looked alright.
Did you see the header that came down the night? And he headed it onto his arm. He missed the ball and he headed it onto his arm. That's another. It's just. I know
this guy's on 20 grand a week.
They're just two big slab pizza players, and you're like, see the differences. Celtic have paid what 1.5 million. Much as Man United have paid again.
It was 80 million or something.
80 million for a player that can't defend. It's absolutely laughable, honestly. Just watching Man United fans cry. It's brilliant. I love it. It's sad, and you even seen the penalty incident. Did you see Konate actually retweeted somebody's tweet about the penalty incident for Man United? Konate actually retweeted it and just put 3 dots as if to say, like, make of it what you will. It was like just 3 dots left as if make of it what you will, and it was a video of the penalty incident that Konate apparently deserved to give away. It wasn't a penalty, and that let Man United back into the game. Another controversial decision from referees. Man United off to a bad start again in the game. Left ourselves with a mountain to climb, and they nearly did climb that mountain, but yet again, Solskjaer tactically he got it all wrong. And yeah, personally for me, I feel Man United fans need to stop getting ahead of themselves too quickly, because at the moment it seems like one game on, one game off, it's not good for Man United fans to watch, but it's the truth right now. With Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, I don't see anything truly happening this season. Europa League, I think it'll be the same as last season. There'll be another shock in the cards. They won't be strong enough to win it. And I'm going to say that right now. Man United will not win the Europa League. I don't think they've got a strong enough squad to win it. Pogba's agents came out this week. He said Pogba's off. He doesn't want Pogba at the club anymore. Pogba says he doesn't want to work under Solskjaer anymore. So whatever happens from now on happens. But in the case of RB Leipzig, what a team. What a remarkable team. And they deserved it. They deserved to win. And after last season's semi-final defeat, to go on and lose possibly two of their best players and still qualify for the knockout stages the next season with the team they've got. They have kept on, obviously, Upamecano, one of the best centre-backs in the world at the moment, I would feel. One of the most promising centre-backs in the world, to make it less controversial. But the fact that Leipzig are able to dismantle a Man United team so easily, it speaks levels, doesn't it?
Definitely. I actually put a controversial tweet about Man United in the Europa League. I said that this current Rangers side would beat Man United, and I said it with my chest as well. I would back Rangers all the way against the United side, because there's one thing that Rangers have that United don't, I feel, and that's fight, and that's passion, and that's a good style of play. A manager who seems to know what he's doing right now. And honestly, Rangers could cause many a teams in this Europa League problems. I'm not saying they'll win it. I'm not saying they'll get to like a semi-final or something. But if they keep on playing the way they are, they'll be like a team that, like, if a team draws them, they'll be like, oh man, we've got to go to Ibrox now. Like, no team wants to draw Rangers, in my opinion. Paddy, a little bit of a redemption for you. Celtic, they won a game. What is this?
Brilliant, mate. Brilliant. It's good to be back to winning ways, and this is our first win in ages, and I hope it's a turning point. I really do. I really just hope we can, like, he played a lot of young guys tonight. You saw David Turnbull have an impressive game. Soro played well. He's given him a chance. Even a new goalkeeper, Connor Hazard, a young Irish boy. So it's looking like Neil Lennon, he needs to sort of use these young players and bring these players through instead of just keeping these main guys like McGregor and Brown, especially with all the midfielders we've got. But it's good to be back to winning ways, and I really hope this is a turning point for the season and that we just go on and get as many wins as possible. So there's been a lot of pressure on the board of Celtic, and you're seeing the banners shoot the board. It's a bit much, to be fair. But they're the ones who, like, this is a season for 10 in a row, and they're the ones making these decisions and still want to keep Neil Lennon on. Like, fair enough. We got that win tonight, and we're all hoping it's going to be a turning point. But really, it's these games in the league that matter. Like, Kilmarnock at home, I think, on Sunday. So I think that's still a game to watch, because it seems as though anything can happen in our games.
Definitely, yep. We'll now move on to the next side of Glasgow, Rangers. Obviously, there's a dead rubber game for them as well, but they secure top of the group. Blair, did you get a chance to watch the mighty Gerrard's Blues?
Mighty Glasgow Rangers, 1872, we are a people. Hey, I actually did. You're right up, did you not like that?
No, at all.
Nah. I did like it, to be honest. It was a very good performance, very convincing. Just Rangers, usual for Rangers. Came out and Cedric Eaton got his start. It was much a changed squad, to be honest with you. Young Nathan Patterson getting a game, Cedric Eaton starting up front. I think really McLaughlin and goals, Balogun, Goldson at the back. That's the usual for Europa League. Much changed, but I think they kept the core of the squad. Very, very good. Very, very convincing display. Young Cedric Eaton, he looks another striker, as Alan McCoy said on the show. he's a third striker, if not a fourth striker for Rangers at the moment, because his goal was just unbelievable. He touched it inside, then touched it outside, and then he made the angle actually worse for himself by touching it outside. And then he's in the far post. I thought he was going to cut it across the keeper, and he just smashed it up top right corner. Brilliant finish, and then Rangers dominated from that. They just held onto the ball, usual from Gerrard. Brilliant holding possession. Kept the ball very, very comfortable. I feel Rangers are so comfortable this season. They just look a different outfit compared to other teams. There was very, very little chances for the opposition they were away to, like Poznan, and they just rounded it off. Hadji actually got the goal, but it was a Goldson header from a corner, hit off the bar, bounced off the line, and it was Hadji just to head it in free in the goal. I think we should give Goldson the credit because he had a fantastic night tonight. He just showed he is a remarkable centre back, and it wouldn't surprise me, as we've talked about in previous podcasts. Wouldn't surprise me if it did go to a different club, to a European club, even to an English club. Definitely, I can see him going down to an English club, high Championship, definitely Premiership. High Championship's maybe too low for him with the level he's playing at the moment, but overall, Gerrard got a brilliant night. He got a run out for his young players. He got a run out for the players that aren't usually playing. And it was another convincing, fantastic display from a Rangers side who do not look like they're going to get stopped at the moment. Not even a side, a Rangers squad that do not look like they're going to get stopped at the moment, because honestly, they're flying. They're flying. And it's scary times for Celtic at the moment because I don't see any way around it.
Let's not give Paddy nightmares, so let's just move on from Rangers. I'll quickly talk about Liverpool game. Obviously, didn't mean anything for the Reds. We already finished top of the group. I expected. One thing I was annoyed about was Klopp kept on playing the likes of Salah and all the big players for the full game. And I thought this would be the perfect game to give them the rest. And it gives me a feeling that you might see some of these players rested at the weekend, because Liverpool have got a big game midweek against Tottenham. So it wouldn't surprise me if they rested players for that game, but that's the only thing that really annoyed me. The game itself was it was a bit boring, to be honest, apart from like maybe the last 20 minutes where Midtjylland had a goal disallowed, we had a goal disallowed, VAR was taking ages. This brings me back to a VAR debate about clear and obvious. If it's taking you this long to decipher a decision, is it clear and obvious? But VAR's for a different time. I think the biggest talking point for the Liverpool game at the midweek would be the Scouser in our team. Trent was the captain on the night. Obviously, a lot of players were rested, but that's no downside to Trent. Trent is fully deserving of that captain. It's great to see another Scouser getting that captaincy armband again, following the likes of Gerrard. It's great to see. What was your thoughts on it, Blair?
It's brilliant to see, isn't it? A young boy 10 years ago sitting with that captain's armband and his wee football boots and his wee Liverpool kit, living the dream, playing for his club he loves. And then now look at him, captaining the proper first team. He's come all that way. He's won the Champions League. He's won the Premier League. He's done everything. As a Scouser, it must mean the world to him to finally be able to lead the team out. He's actually led Liverpool out. Obviously, it's not at Anfield, but I'm sure his time will come at Anfield to lead his team out in front of the fans. Obviously, fans are back. But yeah, I'm more than happy to see it. I think he deserves it. He rightfully deserves it as a Scouser, and hopefully it's the start of times to come for Trent captaining the team, because I think he's one of the most passionate players for the team coming in as a Liverpool fan. You can probably agree with him, and yeah, it's brilliant to see. It was an emotional time for his family, as we can all guess.
Definitely. Paddy, what was your thoughts on it?
I feel it deserves from Trent. He's a great young player, and I think if you've not got Jordan Henderson in the squad, then he's your second man in command, isn't he? It reminds me of when Kieran Tierney was coming through at Celtic, and he's a boy from Glasgow it does, doesn't it? he's been a
Aye.
Celtic fan all his life, and then he got the captaincy as well. So it must be a dream come true for them, and they're doing what we want to do, don't they?
Yep, definitely. It's the start for Ben Alexander-Arnold getting that captaincy armband. Sorry, Blair, were you going to say something there?
No.
Okay.
Laughing at me.
Speaking of you though, Blair, Partick Thistle, how have they been doing recently? And how are they looking for the weekend ahead?
Do we need to talk about this one? Jesus, where do I start? Right, get it out of the way. Brian Graham, you've probably seen it. Oh, that man has had a horror show at the weekend. I was actually at the game, reporting on it, and seeing it in person. It just made things worse. I was actually ready for leaving the ground. I got up out my seat and I'd packed my bags and nah, I'm only kidding on. But honestly, missed a penalty, steps up to the penalty, calm as you like. It's Virgil van Dijk, steps up to the penalty. What a save for the keeper, to be honest. Dabrowski. I watched him playing for Dumbarton against Falkirk the other week, and he didn't have the best of shows. He wasn't confident at all. But compared to the game at the weekend, shout out to him because he had a fantastic game. But can't take away from Graham's miss. So what happened was, if you've not seen it on Twitter, because it has done the rounds whilst I've been crying, Graham hit a penalty, the keeper saved it, and the ball bounced out to him 4 yards out, and all he had to do was side foot tap it in, and an empty goal. He had the rebound there, easy, empty goal, and I don't know how, but he's got his foot underneath it, and he's whacked it over the bar. And at that point, I had my hand, my head, my hat over my face. It was horrible viewing. And from that stage, it was just as if things aren't going to go for Thistle. It was a game we probably should have won. No, sorry. We definitely deserved to win it, yes. But in terms of points, it's a game we probably had to win, with the fact of Cove, obviously, in Falkirk, with the form that they're in at the moment. We should have taken advantage of that. We only got a point out of the game. We dominated Dumbarton for the full game, yes. We just couldn't take the chances. It was a horrible day out as a Thistle fan just watching the game. Couldn't take his chances. Brian Graham missed sitter after sitter. He actually had a chance to head it down to Gordon in the box, and instead of doing that, he tried to go for an overhead kick because he was trying to make up for his earlier penalty, and it just summed up the whole day. It was just a gloom day for Hull. And as for Dumbarton, hats off to them. I've said it before, and I say that again. That they're a good team, and they look well for this season. As for Thistle, we need to get the head up. We've got a massive game at the weekend against Forfar, away to Forfar. And it sounds embarrassing saying we've got a massive game away to Forfar, because I've known Thistle, well, you know Thistle as a Premiership club for the last 5, 6, 7 years. And for us to be saying a massive game against Forfar shows how far we've came down the last couple of years. So we need to get things back up and going again, and we need to just get firing all cylinders. Brian Graham's a superb striker, and I'm sure he will get back to his best. He's been brilliant for us recently. So let's go, Thistle. Come on, we can do this.
And I think that moves us swiftly on to our games of the weekend, lads. And you've all got your games. We'll start with you, Paddy. I need to ask you, but what is your game of the weekend?
I'm going to go for a Celtic v Kilmarnock.
Oh, no way!
I think any game we're in is going to be an interesting one, because it all relies on us seeing if we can get the win or not, and it's the league, so it's got that extra motivation. Like, we need to start winning the games in the league. Fair enough if it's in Europe or whatever. And I think that game tonight that we've won has been a blessing for us. Like, the last game, we've been knocked out, but Lennon's got the chance to play sort of fringe players and young players who don't normally get the chance to play. And I think it's actually gave him a sort of selection headache, because now he's got to think who will he play in the midfield. You saw David Turnbull play great. He took his goal very well. Probably a man of the match performance. Ishmael Soro as well. He looks a sort of similar player to Scott Brown. Maybe he could be coming for him. But I just think any game that we're involved in with the form we're on is going to be an interesting one. And it's still, again, there's massive pressure on Neil Lennon and the board. And yeah, again, it's win or go home, isn't it? Because Neil Lennon, his job's still on the line.
Definitely.
We need to win.
Kilmarnock seem to be your bogey team, don't they?
Kilmarnock do, mate. Fair enough, it's at Celtic Park, this one. Like, we don't really like going away to Rugby Park, but Kilmarnock, they still, that defensively, they'll have 10 men behind the ball and just playing the counter. And even in set pieces, we're embarrassing defending from set pieces. So I think it's going to be an interesting watch, and hopefully we see a lot of goals for Celtic anyway.
What's your score prediction for that game then, Paddy?
I'm going to go for a 3-1. 3-1. I think Kilmarnock will get a goal, maybe from us sort of slack defending, but I think we should be on the rampage. I think 3-1, I say.
Interesting. Okay. Blair, what's your game of the week?
So I've gone with Ronaldinho lick. I've gone with PSG v Leon. I think that's going to be a superb game. I'll definitely be tuning in for that. I don't know about you, but I know I will be tuning in for that because Leon are actually sitting in third place. I think 2 points is actually separating the league just now. So it's all to play for. Definitely all to play for. PSG sitting top of the league right now. They may not be in the best of form. Obviously got that win against Istanbul. Superb one. Got that out of the way. But in the league, I don't feel they are in the best of form. And I think it is all to play for Leon. So that's all I can really say for just now. Toko Ekambi, I know he's definitely going to score because you see the form he's been in. He's kept Dembele out. He's on fire. He really is. So yeah, I'm actually going to go with a 2-1 Leon win, even though it is at PSG Stadium. Just purely because I like to be controversial. Nah, I'm only joking. Purely because Toko Ekambi's in such good form. I feel Leon have came here before and they have pulled off a win on many occasions. They're going to do it again. I can just see it, and hopefully it does open up the title race again for Ligue 1 and PSG don't win it for the gazillionth time in a row.
Interesting. Yep, that's a very interesting scoreline, Blair. It'd be nice to see that happen so we can see some competition in Ligue 1 for a change.
As I said, I like to be controversial.
Apologies if I seem a bit distracted there. I was actually just seeing who's at home for my game of the week, and I've gone with the game on everyone's lips, the Manchester Derby. Usually I would go with the Liverpool game, but we're playing Fulham, so it should be a whitewash for Liverpool. But the Manchester Derby, I mean, it's a massive game for both teams. Man City, they look like they're coming into some really good form right now. Obviously, you got the problems at Man United. Man City on their day can beat anyone. But let's be real about this. Man City have got fantastic players in their squad. They've got the likes of Jesus and why have I gone blank? Got the likes of Sterling and De Bruyne as well. And Man United, obviously, on their day, they have the talent, but they're low on confidence right now. Their home form in the league is appalling, and I feel like City are going to be on it this game. And I'm going to go with a comfortable 3-0 win for City. I don't see Man United getting in this game at all. They're going to be ripped apart by De Bruyne will get loads of space in that middle of the park, especially if Pogba plays. But like we said earlier about his agent, Pogba should not be playing for Man United right now. And that's just my personal opinion because he knew what his agent was saying. If he didn't know what his agent was going to say, he should sack his agent. That's just my personal thought on the matter. But
as I like to call him, Jogba.
Jogba, yeah. Obviously, Man United need to rely on the brilliance of Bruno Fernandes again. Maybe Bruno Penandes, as people would say, because it was a United game without a penalty. But nah, City right now look like they're steamrolling teams right now, and I feel like this will be a whitewash for them. So yeah, 3-0, and I'd probably go with 2 for Jesus, and De Bruyne free kick or penalty. So we'll round this off now. So hopefully you guys enjoyed today's podcast, and hopefully you enjoyed me as a presenter for today. Let me know how I done in the comments below. It's always nice to see people's feedback on how I done and how we done. And hopefully you guys enjoyed the podcast as a whole. Be sure to like and subscribe. Be sure to subscribe as well so we can get to the 250 mark. We've got a giveaway coming soon, so be sure to subscribe for that. But yeah, that's all from us. So goodbye from me.
Yeah.